Hey, welcome to Fashion by Faith, Tailored by God. I'm so glad that you can join me today. Today we're going to be discussing bearing fruit and confronting disappointment. Now, one of the things as Christians that we have to deal with and learn to grow in is that when we bear fruit and we don't see the results in those that are surrounding us or in how they appreciate us, we often become disappointed because we feel like there should be a cookie cutter image. And if we do A, B, and C, then we should get X, Y, and Z. If we are good stewards of our gifts, then everybody else should appreciate our gifts. And that's just not the case. Number one, people are going to be drawn to you because of the Jesus in you. So they are going to see a light. There's going to be something that is inviting to them, something that is welcoming to them, something that feels like home, something that is comforting to them. And that's why they are drawn to you. It's not because of your great works or because you look good. That can be an added bonus, right? Let's be really honest with that. But initially people are drawn to you because of the Jesus in you. So they're going to be drawn to you, and they're going to be drawn to the fruit that you bear. As Christians, we are called to bear much fruit. That is what we are called to do. So the first thing is that people are going to be drawn to you because of the Jesus in you. Number two, people are going to come to pick of the fruit that you bear. If you are patient and loving and kind, if you are encouraging, people are going to be drawn to that. They're going to want to be around that, and they're going to come and they're going to pick up the fruit. Now, people may not always say thank you. People may not always appreciate you. People may not always highlight you. They may not always cheer you on, but you are still called to bear fruit. Some people will even come to pick of the fruit that you bear and throw it back at you. Literally, you can bless people, you can love on people, you can be good to people, but because of where they are in life, they may or may not have the emotional intelligence or the spiritual capacity to receive what it is that you have given them. And they literally might turn your giftings into a weapon of mass destruction, using your love as a tool, a weapon against you. The situation itself may be wrong, their intent may be wrong, but you have to understand that that is a part of life. That is a part of our Christian walk. And we are still called to love on and be good to and be gracious to those people. It is difficult, but that is some of the things that will actually grow us and develop us as Christians. Okay? So, yes, people are going to come to pick of the fruit that it is that you bear. People will also use that fruit and throw it back at you. People will be unappreciative, but that does not stop your mission. Also, you are called to bear much fruit. I don't know how much more to emphasize this. It does not matter who is above you in leadership. It does not matter who is around you. It does not matter what is going on in the world. You are called to bear much fruit, and you will be held accountable to what it is that God has given to you, for what it is that God has told you to do. One of the last things that I do want to touch upon is the fact that in order to be used by God, you need to be willing to be used. That doesn't always mean that things are going to feel good. That doesn't always mean that we're going to get the outcome that we wanted. That doesn't always mean that we are going to receive what we thought, when we thought, how we thought it was going to happen. But God is a sovereign God. He is a good God, and He knows what's best for our lives. It is not up to us to tell God how to bless us. It is not up to us to tell God how He should handle a situation. And in order to be used by Him, we have to be willing to do those things which we may not be comfortable with, which we may not understand, but we are called to do. God will never put us in a situation that will compromise our integrity or our character. God is a good God, so He will not harm us or put us in harm's way in order to get the message across that needs to reach people. And even if it's just one person, understand that what you are doing is purposeful, even if it just touches one person. So I do want to highlight that although we are called to bear fruit, we may not have the results and outcomes that we would have expected, but that does not take away from the fact that what we are called to do is important. Christianity is not always about doing what feels good. We are called to make people feel God. So it is not about our feelings. It is not about what we want the outcome to be. It is about His will being done in our lives. So, key takeaways that I want us to remember and to go over periodically. And these are things that'll help us understand how to manage our expectations of people and how to protect what it is that God has given us and how to preserve that. Now, it doesn't mean that, when we bear fruit that we just have to let anybody have access to us. No, but when God has called us to do something, we have to be obedient to the call, no matter what we feel like. Irregardless of how we feel about the situation, if God calls you to do something, we have to be obedient to that. So, first thing is we are called to bear much fruit. Um, People will be drawn to us because of the Jesus in us. People might use the fruit that we bear as a weapon against us, and that sometimes happens. Actually, that happens a lot. But again, we are still called to bear much fruit. And then remember, don't be discouraged when you are called to be used by God for a situation. Even if you don't understand what is going on, it is still important for you to be obedient to the call. Someone else's blessing is coming from your obedience. It doesn't mean that you're a martyr. It doesn't mean that you need to hang yourself on the cross. Nope, Jesus did it. He paid it all. But we are called to be obedient. And in order to be used by God, we have to be willing to be used. So I hope that this blessed someone. I know that from time to time, I have to constantly remind myself that I am here to be used as a vessel. And it's all for God's glory. So I hope that you were encouraged by this. If there are any prayer requests, feel free to drop that in the comments below. Or if there's something that you'd want to further discuss, if you have a different viewpoint on this, I'd love to hear that as well. So have a blessed day. And as always, walk in purpose.